Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting edition of KPW War Zone. It is I, Tapey Styles, calling the action right down the middle, flying solo as always. And tonight we are at the final pit stop before our next monthly special event, Madhouse, in just 5 nights this weekend, October 25th at 9/8 Central. But before we get to the ultimate Fright Night this upcoming weekend, we need to discuss what will be going down here tonight. Of course, in our main event of the evening, we will be seeing the World Heavyweight Champion Pando join forces with Bunker Hill's Popcorn Papi as they go against Chaos Control, the heavies of Parliament, Kruger, and Papyrus. And that is not all, folks. Regarding our World Heavyweight Champion Pando, he is still expecting some sort of championship defense this Saturday night, and we are looking to get answers from the board of directors here tonight. But that is not all for tag team action here to come this evening, as we will be seeing a very unlikely pairing in Pierre Cinema and the KPW Twitch champion, The Sauce, teaming up against the director, Steven Gielberg, and the role model, Tape, as they both look forward to colliding this Saturday night. That would, of course, be Pierre Cinema taking on Steven Gielberg, The Sauce defending the Twitch championship against Tape. A good sneak peek to come here tonight in tag team action. But also still to come, variety being the spice of life. We have been granted once again with yet another Haas fight. If you thought Pando versus Papyrus last week had some real heavy hitters, get ready for this one, because the 525-pounder, the man beast, Crisp Billy, will be going one-on-one against the KPW Hardcore champion, the 300-pound misfit, Bob. But to kick things off here tonight, centering around the tag team division, a preview of what may come this weekend at Madhouse, as one half of the KPW Tag Team Champions representing Bunker Hill, the Scrapyard Saint Solo goes one-on-one against one half of the Murder Hornets, Wasp, in their first ever singles bout here in KPW history. Let's get right down to ringside. A real packed week here in KPW. Saturday night, of course, being our next monthly special event, Madhouse, a night where this man, Wasp, and his tag team partner, Mosquito, the Murder Hornets, they have the chance to become 2-time KPW Tag Team Champions. But the festivities are not over after Saturday night. Next week on Warzone will be a special 5-match event titled Wrestle Scream in just 1 week's time. The only question will be which one of these two men will be walking into Wrestle Scream in just 1 week's time, with the bragging rights of being one half of the KPW Tag Team Champions. Solo not backed by his tag team partner K-Dog, representing Bunker Hill, loud and proud, repping the colors, the signature green color of Bunker Hill. And we are off to the races, folks. Wasp with the early advantage. Wasp sizing up Solo, looking to go for a jawbreaker. Solo breaks out of the hold. Solo looking to go for a neck breaker, and he gets all of it. Snap suplex by the Scrapyard Saint. One of the best strikers here in the history of KPW, the Scrapyard Saint. Solo. Spinning wheel kick takes down Wasp. Wasp, of course, looking to prove here tonight that the equal may not be more than the sum of its parts. Wasp is looking to shine bright here tonight. Drop toe hold by Solo. Ladies and gentlemen, to circle back to our previous announcement, the next War Zone special event in 1 week's time, Wrestle Scream. Of course, a 5-match card, a special card to bring to you here in just a week's time to kick off the Halloween festivities right. We have one hell of a card to bring to you that night, as we'll be seeing the Viceroy Jedi in action in a World Heavyweight Championship contender. You'll, of course, be going up against the winner between Corey Sinclair and Chris Billy. The winner, whoever wins at Madhouse, will be advancing to Wrestle Scream in just 2 nights later for the opportunity of a lifetime. Also to come next week, we'll be seeing Pando in action at Wrestle Scream. Who knows if he'll be walking into that event with the World Championship around his waist. Wasp with the clothesline, taking Solo over the top rope and down to the floor. Wasp moving quick, moving vigilant. Powerbomb onto Solo, hooking the leg.
1, 2, count 2.
And Solo's up at 2. Also still to come for Wrestle Scream, Bob will be defending the KPW Hardcore Championship, as he will not be out of the woods here tonight against Chris Billy. He has yet another hoss fight ahead of him, but next week it will be against the heavy of Parliament, the 400-pound Papyrus, as he looks to meet that 30-day quota of defending the Hardcore Championship. You'll also be seeing 2 studded stars in action next week, singles action, and what may be their first ever encounter. Pierre Cinema, the star attraction, taking on the leader of Bunker Hill, Popcorn Papi, in 1 week's time here. Hurricane Rana, folded up Solo, looking to steal it, and Solo gets out at 2. And if you want to talk about tag teams, if you want to talk about who might step up to try and fill the void, look no further, because next week on Warzone, Wrestle Scream, we'll be seeing Bam Dardino, Ricky Rhombus, the Band Bus, taking on Mojo Perry, Willie Nixon, the Raging Bulls. And what is sure to be an explosive event. Big clothesline takes down Solo. Wasp moving in for the kill, throwing Solo to the outside.
2, 3, 4, 5,
Solo
6,
slow to get back to his feet.
7,
Knife edge chop.
8,
Snapmare
9,
on the floor.
10, 11, 12.
Wasp, he's sizing up Solo. He's going into a bit of a frenzy there. But Solo, he's quite a resilient man. He's got quite the endurance. He's got the durability and the cardio. He has every tool equipped that he needs to make use of here tonight. And he's gonna have to fall back on those tools once again on Saturday night when he and K-Dog defend the KPW tag team goal against the Murder Hornets. Wrist lock reversal by Solo. Solo running into a power bomb, but he counters it into a Hurricane Rana. And just like that, the momentum of this bout might have seriously shifted in the favor of Solo. Scrap Buster connecting. And he's not finished. He's looking to make his message loud and clear.
1, 2,
And Solo, no! Wasp kicked out of 2 Scrap Busters. We were looking to count him out. We were looking to completely discredit him. We had no idea just how much he had in the tank here tonight. How hungry are the Murder Hornets heading into Madhouse this Saturday night? Swinging neck breaker from Wasp. Irish whip from Solo. Drop down. Solo with the back elbow. Second rope. Senton on the Wasp here, and that is all she wrote. And that was one hell of an uphill climb for the Scrapyard Saint. The opening minutes were certainly not in the favor of one half of the tag team champions. It wasn't in the favor of Bunker Hill at all. But Solo, he was able to hold his ground here tonight. Wasp put up one hell of a fight. Those 2 Scrap Busters was exactly what Solo needed to equalize this bout, turn the tides towards his favor. After taking an absolute beating those first several minutes. And then Solo, he had to dig deep. He had to reach down into that repertoire, pull out all the stops, whatever he had left in his arsenal. That corkscrew senton off the top rope did the deal. That was all he needed at the end of the night. Congratulations to Solo on a crushing victory here tonight. A real hard-fought, well-earned comeback for the Scrapyard Saint. But coming up next, what we have on our hands here, folks, is quite possibly one of the largest Haas fights we have ever run here in KPW history. The 300-pound misfit, the KPW Hardcore Champion, Bawb, goes one-on-one against the 7'4" 525-pound man beast, Chris Billy. But before we get down to ringside for action, I understand that we have a little bit of promotional footage to run from the boys in the truck. A message courtesy of Steven Gielberg and tape ahead of their tag team match later on tonight. Let's see what that footage is all about.
As the director, I've always understood the power of a good establishing shot. This rundown, low-class dumpster fire of a joint hosts the seedy underbelly that comes through this town on a nightly basis. Pierre, I know this building specifically is a place you would know like the back of your hand. The security, the staff, the dancers, you pride yourself on being a role model, and yet you marched through these halls with such a superiority complex. What gets buried in the dark will get the spotlight it deserves, because you certainly aren't giving back to these people. But we got no problem taking for ourselves. Now, let's hear from a true role model that's looking to take something for himself. Tell them tape.
That's right, Steven. Unlike Pierre, we actually give the credit where it's due. After the director was graceful enough to provide the distraction last week, I just had to step up and return the favor against you two punks. I don't need to say much about Pierre because, come on, what's he gonna do about it? Get pinned again this week. And it's not like the sauce is gonna be much of an assist. Remember how much they hated each other. The sauce isn't gonna let that go. He's still picking fights with Popo almost 2 years after the fact. But you know what? Picking your fights is quite the virtue, and I've got the sauce pegged for Madhouse. He's never beaten me in a fight, and Madhouse won't be any different, because I'm going to take home that KPW Twitch Championship. We'll see you punks in the ring tonight.
Strong words from both of those men, wearing their hearts on their sleeves, regarding Madhouse, regarding their tag team action still to come here tonight on War Zone. Who knows why the hell he would choose to fight in a strip club? Who knows why the hell they would want to discuss their business inside of a strip club? That's what it looked like. But Chris Billy, he is looking forward to Madhouse. He is looking forward to a second round, a second go of things against the king of Stego style, Corey Sinclair. And he knows that Corey will be watching very closely. But first, he's got one hell of a fight on his hands. He has to deal with the KPW Hardcore Champion, the 300-pound misfit, Bob. This is one hell of a stepping stone for both of these combatants here. Hoss fight here tonight in the Kumite Forum. Irish whip reversal by Chris Billy. Big cross body from Bob takes Chris Billy off of his feet. Irish whip, big boot takes down the misfit, taking down the hardcore champion. Chris Billy looking forward to his fight against Corey Sinclair at Madhouse, a rematch from Euphoria last month. What initially started as a dream match for the King of Stego style has quickly grown into a very personal, very deeply seated obsession with dismantling and taking down the man beast in Chris Billy. Scoop slam by the hardcore champion. And make no mistake about it here, folks, Bob still has one hell of a fight ahead of him, but he won't be at Madhouse. He'll be at WrestleScream, our Warzone special event, in just 1 week's time, when he defends the Hardcore Championship against the 400-pound Papyrus. As Parliament looks to take another championship back within their ranks, within their folds. Looks like Bob is going to go for a single leg Boston Crab, but he transitioned to an STF. Luckily for Chris Billy, he was able to reach the ropes and initiate that rope break. Chris Billy keeping up the fight, keeping things heavy. Moving with such style, with such grace. You wouldn't expect it from a man the size of Chris Billy, but here we are tonight. Stranger things have certainly occurred here over the course of KPW's history. Bob attempting the shoulder block, but Chris Billy is at a standstill. Chris Billy throws Bob to the outside. Diving clothesline from the top down to the floor.
5, 6.
And this crowd is in an absolute fever pitch. Power bomb onto the floor.
10, 11, 12.
Bob slowly moving back into the ring here, and he's trying to suplex the big man. No luck that time. Irish whip into the corner, big clothesline, head full of steam. Military press, dropping down the champion. Cover.
1.
Bob's back up at 1. Irish whip reversal by Bob. Big spine on the pine. Following it up with a second rope splash. He is looking to keep that pressure up. He needs to keep that vigor, that intensity, that aggression that got him to the Hardcore Championship. And Corey Sinclair, he's got quite the history with both of these men. Chris Billy, of course, are no strangers to what has developed between those two parties over the course of the past 6 weeks at least. But let's not forget the previous KPW Hardcore Champion, the man that went up against the 300-pound misfit Bob at Sabotage and lost that very Hardcore Championship, was Corey Sinclair. Nobody's seen as much success in the Hardcore division as Corey Sinclair, a 3-time champion. The only match in the record books over the course of KPW's history by Popcorn Papi, a man that won the Twitch Championship 3 times, running clothesline, cover, and a kick out at 2. Big clothesline, getting back up from a prone position is Crisp Billy. Back elbow in the corner. Chris Billy looking to go for a power bomb. Bob overpowers him, and now he's looking to choke the life out of Chris Billy. And the forum is in strong disapproval of that. Chris Billy from the top. Back elbow. Taking a real tried and true leap of faith there.
2, 3.
Senton down to the floor. We saw that from Bob at Euphoria.
6, 7,
And he last made his championship defense
9.
regarding the hardcore title. We saw him tear the house down in a brutal yet bloody affair against Steven Gielberg, a man that we'll be seeing in tag team action coming up next. Where we saw Bawb attempt that very same maneuver, that senton over the top rope and down to the floor. Here's Billy looking to go for a choke slam, one-handed. And he's calling for the GFD. Shoulders pinned to the mat.
3. Pinfall.
And Bawb has been put and laid to rest here tonight. No sighting of the King of Stego style in Corey Sinclair. We expected some sort of attack, some sort of retaliation from Corey Sinclair, given his comments last week. I think he got the smarter of him. I think he got a second win there. Might have thought better of this situation. He realizes exactly what kind of ring he was going to be stepping into. And he thought it would just be better to let these two hosses settle it out here in the middle of the ring. And we have a victor in the Man Beast, Chris Billy. But coming up next, tag team action as Pierre Cinema and the Sauce take on the team of Tape and Steven Gielberg. All four of these men looking forward to lock horns and butt heads at Madhouse in just 5 nights. As I understand, Pierre and the Sauce have also made some comments about their opponents here tonight, and we're hoping to get a little bit of information, hoping to pick their minds and pick their brains about the situation in just a few short moments. We get another look, as we could possibly get another look at that GFD here. George Foreman drove that patented tombstone pile driver. That right there could very well await Corey Sinclair once again at Madhouse. And Bawb,
that's the best thing about closing chapters, 'cause it gives you time to write a new one. The Sauce and I haven't always been on the easiest of terms, but even with our polar opposite backgrounds, we can still find common ground on a lot of things. And maybe we aren't so different after all. Steven Gielberg, you say that you have the power to take my career and bury it in the sand where nobody can find it. I've never been the kind of man to take any joy punching downwards, but with how much attention you bring to my career, how about we talk about yours? A hardcore champion. For 8 long days, you were one of the baddest men on the planet. And then Popo pumped your ass back down to size. What have you done since then? You've sat back in catering, hoping you wouldn't get passed over for another shot. A shot that others have proven themselves more qualified for. And now you want to weasel your way up to the top by taking me out? You aren't going to fill my boots, but I won't have a problem putting the boots to you at Madhouse and tonight. I don't even think that other guy is worth mentioning, but I think the Sauce can articulate these thoughts much better than I ever could. Hit him with it.
Who in the blue hell comes up with a game strategy inside a strip club And why the hell is Tape wearing that Mr. Freeze-ass outfit in a strip club? Who's gonna make it rain for him? And Pierre, the sauce really likes the cut of your jib. Closure is a beautiful thing, but I'm thinking about closure in a different light than you. You want personal redemption so you can become a stronger champ than you were before. The sauce just wants to shut the mouth of Tape, and while we're at it, Steven Gielberg for good measure. Send both them casting couch bitches packing after Madhouse, and let the real heavyweights carry the weight here. If you smell what the sauce is cooking.
A lot of thoughts floating in the minds of all four of these men. Steven Gielberg, Tape, making quite the upwards climb up the totem pole here in KPW. Steven Gielberg looking to weasel his way up to the top, looking to completely dismantle and eradicate the career of Pierre Cinema, believing that he deserves the very same opportunities that Pierre got. He believes that he would have the exact amount of success that Pierre had as well, and maybe he wouldn't have lost the world title if given those same opportunities. And comes the role model, Tape, a man that has yet to win any sort of singles gold here in KPW. The last time he challenged for singles gold was 18 months ago, fully loaded 2024, when he took on the Monarch, Oliver English, to crown the first ever KPW World Heavyweight Champion. That is not a night that Tape would like to remember with any sort of fondness whatsoever. But at Madhouse, he has the chance to become the Twitch champion. By going up against the sauce. But first, speaking of a man that was once a KPW Twitch champion, look no further than France's greatest export, the star attraction Pierre Cinema. One of KPW's tried and true franchise players.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
Looking to bring the heat however he knows how. And right behind him, a man that he, as we saw just moments ago, reconciled, squashing their previous beef with each other. Pierre Cinema, the sauce, on the same page here tonight. Looking to crush some common enemies. Steven Gielberg electing to start this bout against Pierre Cinema. Pierre having no qualms whatsoever. He's been looking to get his hands on Steven Gielberg over the course of the past month, ever since Steven Gielberg, the director, orchestrated this whole blackmailing campaign, the smear campaign against Pierre Cinema. He's been very adamant about reminding these people here in the forum and at home
1, 2.
that what was buried in the darkness will be dug up and brought to the light. Steven Gielberg has been promising some very serious skeletons in the closet of Pierre Cinema, and only time will tell if he is actually going to be true to his word, or if Pierre's suspicions have been right from the start, and the director just calling a very serious bluff, trying to seriously defame and slander the good name of Pierre Cinema. Sauce tagging in, more than willing to get his hands on the director. This is not a first encounter between these two men either. The Sauce looking to take Steven Gielberg's head off with that clothesline. Luckily for the director, he's able to duck that clothesline and reach over for the tag against and get in the role model tape. A little bit of high-low tandem offense on the Twitch champion. It appears Tape has picked out a slightly different attire for tonight's tag team action. It prompts a very good question. Why the hell would anybody wear any sort of ring gear inside a strip joint?
2, 3, 4.
The Mr. Freeze comments definitely getting inside the head of the role model. Opting for a much different color palette here in the ring. Back elbow from the Sauce. Spinning back elbow takes down the Sauce. Steven Gielberg brandishing a table from the front row of the Kumite faithful. He's definitely trying to blueprint some ideas here tonight. Definitely trying to get something off the ground and moving. Tape, the legal man. Pierre Cinema, the legal man. Tape motioning to tag in Steven Gielberg. And Steven Gielberg's had no reservations whatsoever about getting his hands dirty. In fact, he takes quite the sick amount of pleasure in doing so.
1, 2.
He also has no qualms whatsoever about kicking the enemy while he's down. He's not a man that fights with any sort of honor or chivalry whatsoever. And the Sauce, he is a man that also understands that firsthand. Think back to just 6 months ago, that barbed wire brawl that the Sauce was involved in. The climax of that epic feud between him and Popcorn Papi, where the Sauce did emerge victorious, but it's not a night that the Sauce would like to remember. It's a night where the winner did not look that much different from the loser. As Steven Gielberg hit the ring that night and beat the Sauce to a bloody pulp. Double teaming action from the Sauce and Pierre Cinema. Tape makes the tag. 30-minute time limit in effect for tag team action here tonight, folks. It'll be double time in just 5 nights. Our next monthly special event, Madhouse, coming up this weekend, October 25th, 9/8 Central, here on the Team Adhesive Broadcasting Network. The Sauce hanging onto the ropes there as they look to go for another knee strike. And we saw how deliberate Tape was last week in using those knee strikes against Pierre Cinema. That distraction, that assist from the director is what gave Tape such a massive victory over Pierre Cinema. Guillotine from Pierre to Tape, looking to get a little bit of payback here tonight. Tag made to Pierre, tag made to Steven Gielberg. And these two men, they are absolutely eager to get into the ring and get it on here tonight. They're not waiting till Saturday. Set out neck breaker by Pierre Cinema. Exchange of strikes. Pierre getting the upper hand here. And Pierre's got that elite level conditioning. He's been in much more high pressure situations compared to Steven Gielberg. But he's got quite the experience on his side. He holds a lot of integrity going into this bout. Steven Gielberg has shown time and time again he is willing to do whatever it takes to get that W in his column in the record books. He has a distinct size advantage over Pierre Cinema.
2, 3.
Both about equal in height, but with Steven Gielberg weighing in tonight at about 275 pounds. That's a 40-pound weight difference between him and Pierre Cinema. Pierre Cinema knows that he can really target and zone in on the weaker joints of Steven Gielberg. Those knees are just completely well guarded up. They got braces on both of the knees. But we've seen Steven Gielberg even use that to his advantage. Those metal braces have really helped him add a lot of extra torque to some of his moves, including the figure 4 leg lock. We've seen him capture the hardcore championship with that leg lock. And who knows what will happen on Saturday night if he's able to get that move in on Pierre Cinema. It'd be quite the sight to see the star attraction tap out. Forearm strike. A quick preview of Saturday night. Arm drag by the challenger. The Sauce running right back into the grip of tape. Irish whip reversal by the Twitch champion. Power slam by the Sauce. Waist lock transition. Schoolboy attempted, but the Sauce reaching the ropes. A great call by Slap Thigh Jones. Tag made to Steven Gielberg. A roundhouse kick knocks back the Sauce, but he stays on his feet. Back body drop by the Sauce onto Steven Gielberg. As the Sauce gets thrown to the outside, Steven Gielberg tape, looking to zero in and circle around Pierre Cinema like a pack of sharks, smelling blood in the water. Running knee to the back of the Sauce, courtesy of Steven Gielberg. And spill to the outside.
2, 3, 4.
Tape and the Sauce on one side
6,
of the outside area.
7.
Steven Gielberg and Pierre Cinema on the other side. Steven Gielberg trying to retrieve a table
10, 11.
from the arena staff here.
12.
Running big boot by Tape. Trying to soften up the Sauce before Madhouse.
16.
Steven Gielberg, he's the legal man for his team. He might be counted out here if Pierre has anything to say about him. Steven Gielberg rushes back into the ring. A tandem offense between Tape and Steven Gielberg has been playing out in double time here tonight. Big discus clothesline, knocking back the Sauce. as he stumbles back through the middle ropes, back towards his corner. A hard jab from Pierre Cinema. A second one takes Steven Gielberg down to the floor.
2, 3.
And now it is Tate that's isolated in the ring. The Sauce with a single leg Boston Crab on the challenger. Steven Gielberg trying to bust open Pierre Cinema before Saturday. And Slapthigh Jones is just rapidly, completely losing control of this bout. Noggin knocker in the center of the ring. The tag made to Tate. Uppercut from Pierre to Tate. Sunset flip, but Pierre's reaching the ropes. That pinfall attempt rendered invalid. Spinning wheel kick from Pierre Cinema. Oh, a suplex from Tate. Tate is as far away as he possibly can be from his tag team partner as he looks to slowly yet surely close the gap. And that's what the Sauce has been doing this whole time ever since he came back to KPW. He's been trying to close all the gaps that he possibly can. He's been making up for lost time, and he's had one hell of a roll ever since he came back. In just a week's time, he went from making his presence felt to earning the KPW Twitch Championship for the second time ever. Quick jab, sending the Sauce into the ropes there. Able to hold his balance, able to keep himself steady on his feet. Tate breaks the back of the Sauce. Takedown courtesy of the Sauce. The Sauce going low on Steven Gielberg. His knees might be braced up, but his groin certainly isn't. Suplex from the Sauce. Big boot from Steven Gielberg. Quick thrust to the throat. Big splash in the corner. Double arm DDT from the director. And the Sauce goes low once again here. Sauce has no problems playing dirty whatsoever. For him, it is just a means to an end. He understands very well that sometimes you just have to fight fire with fire. Discus elbow from the director. A hip strike from Steven Gielberg. Here's Cinema. Going for that wrist lock. Boston Crab attempted, denied by Steven Gielberg. Powering out of it. And Tate makes the tag. Scoop slam. Sauce looking to make some distance between Steven Gielberg and his tag team partner. Pele kick from Tate. As he falls back on more of that aerial offense. Hurricane Rana, shoulders pinned down to the mat, but Pierre's feet were underneath the bottom rope. Arm drag by Tape to Pierre Cinema. Picking up where things left off last week on Warzone. The only question this time around is if Pierre Cinema is going to be able to secure the win that he was robbed of last week. Is Tape going to be able to get the job done and do it right this time? Do it with some sort of honor, with some sort of dignity. Or is Tape just going to fall back on more and more cheap shots? Back elbow pushes back the Sauce. Tag made to Steven Gielberg once again. Look at the strategy employed by Tape and Steven Gielberg. They are making their tags very quickly, very frequently. They know that the minutes just tack more and more as this bout progresses. As we draw nearer and nearer to that 30-minute time limit, this could very well go to a draw. And I don't think that would ease any of the tensions heading into Madhouse this Saturday night. The Sauce, look at him, makes Steven Gielberg submit with that armbar. Side Russian leg sweep from the Sauce. What time? Another Russian leg sweep, courtesy of the Twitch champion. Big clothesline knocks back Steven Gielberg, but it doesn't take him off of his feet there. Russian leg sweep attempted by Steven Gielberg, but the Sauce is looking to rock-a-bye Steven Gielberg. Looks like the Sauce was going to go for it again. Tape might have bought him some time, and time might be all they need. Pierre Cinema getting in position, and the Sauce pins the director. Tape proving that he had more selfish intentions going into tonight's bout, ulterior motives. He didn't care about the well-being of his tag team partner here. That was nothing more than a business deal we saw earlier in the evening, earlier on the program. What we saw unfold before our very eyes was not about the good and the betterment of that team whatsoever. That was Steven Gielberg taking a bullet for the role model as he stood back and watched the Twitch champion rock-a-bye the director here tonight. And what an intense message to send to your challenger heading into Madhouse. And speaking of the devil, let's get a quick rundown of what to expect this Saturday night. Of course, still to come, we have yet to find out where the board of directors stand on the World Heavyweight Championship bout scheduled in just 5 nights from now. But as we get a good rundown of the card here, we'll of course be seeing a highly anticipated, a high-intensity, high-octane rematch as the man-beast Chris Billy takes on the King of Stego Style once again in Corey Sinclair. Also to come, as previously mentioned, Tape will get his hands on the Sauce for the KPW Twitch Championship. We know both of these men are going to be in some real pristine condition heading into Saturday night. They are going to be looking to put on an absolute slugfest and do whatever it takes to walk away with the gold, and that is just 5 nights away. And what may be for glory might also be substituted towards something more personal. Retribution on the mind of Pierre Cinema as he looks to silence the director, Steven Gielberg, this Saturday night. Stop the smear campaign before it gets any worse, before it inflames towards a point of no return. That is on the mind of France's greatest export. It's only a matter of time before we find out if Steven Gielberg will put his money where his mouth is. And also still to come at Madhouse this Saturday night, the KPW Tag Team Championships on the line as the Murder Hornets get a shot against our tag team champions, Solo, K-Dog, representing Bunker Hill. And speaking of Bunker Hill, after all the chaos that has engulfed KPW over the past several months, we're finally getting a head-to-head confrontation between these two rivaling factions. As Chaos Control, Kruger, Papyrus, representing Chaos Control, representing Parliament, they'll be going up against the combination of Popo and Popcorn Papi. But coming up next, our main event of the evening, as Popcorn Papi begins his campaign of destruction early, as he teams up with the Siberian Silver Bear, the KPW World Heavyweight Champion Pando, against Kruger and Papyrus of Parliament of Chaos Control. Here in our main event here tonight, as I'm getting word here, what the hell's going on? We got cameras rolling backstage. Apparently we got some sort of an altercation. Let's see if we can get some eyes and ears on this. And what the hell is this? Popo being singled out by Parliament. But that's not Chaos Control doing the bidding. That's Josue, that's Oliver English, the other cohorts in Parliament. And Popo, he's doing the best that he can to put up a good fight. We've been wondering for the past several weeks if these two egos here in Parliament, between the Monarch, the Latin Sensation, we were wondering if these two heads were going to collide here. We know that Josue was afforded that opportunity weeks ago against Pando, 10 minutes to get a singles opportunity at Madhouse, but he did not get the win that night. They went to a time limit draw, and they are just continuing to beat the hell out of the Heartthrob. Action spilling out of the boiler room in the hallways of the Kumite Forum. Parliament working with the numbers advantage on their side here. And Josue, he's been very much touted and lauded as the secret weapon of Parliament, and we're seeing his influence in this beatdown here tonight, unfolding in real time. Both of them have Popo on the table here. Angel dust through the tables. Assistant pile drivers. And we're finally getting some security backstage to get these two maniacs off the heartthrob. What a calculated, orchestrated attack from Parliament. Surely some retaliation from last week. Bunker Hill offering their services, offering a brief moment of unity between themselves and the World Heavyweight Champion. And speaking of the World Champion, he's not wasting any time whatsoever. He's looking to throw down once again with Chaos Control. It's the Siberian Silver Bear, Pando. We saw Pando go it alone against Papyrus last week on War Zone. An absolutely insane Hoss fight where we saw Pando Beal Papyrus all the way across the ring, a 400-pound man. But after that bell rang, he was very quickly overwhelmed by Parliament until this man came to the aid of the world champion, came to the rescue, a knight in shining armor, Popcorn Papi. Looking to lead the charge for Bunker Hill, representing his peers, his constituents with pride and dignity. Fighting with utmost guerrilla tactics. Popcorn Papi's got to have a lot going through his mind here tonight. Pando just damn near splitting Kruger in half to kick off the main event here tonight. Pando gets to physically vent out those frustrations here over the past several weeks, the past several months even. Having to hear about Parliament and every single one of their moves within earshot. They've just been an absolute tour de force since the spring. And who knows what kind of mental capacity, what kind of mental and emotional state Popcorn Papi is in after seeing the heartthrob get absolutely decimated in the back there just moments ago. Pando, Popcorn Papi, they got some real solid ground here tonight. Must be a moment of solace and relief that the World Heavyweight Champion knows that he doesn't have to take on this group, this cult of bandits by himself here. Action spilling to the outside. Pando rushing back into the ring, not wasting any time whatsoever. A spear taking Papyrus off of his feet. And Pando was looking to go for a second one, but Papyrus lifted up Pando up into cloud 9 there. Pando rolling over to tag in Popcorn Papi. And this is one hell of a man that you could get to head into battle with you. A former hardcore champion, a 3-time Twitch champion. They'd be very hard-pressed to find a man with such a decorated career. Quite like Popcorn Papi's here in KPW. Big forearm strike into the corner. Sleeper hold cinched in on Kruger, looking to choke him out. Overhead strike buys Kruger enough time to make the tag here. Pando trying to make the move on both members of Chaos Control. Referee slapped by Jones, using Pando back towards the corner of his ring for the main event. Packed, stacked, and sold out Kumite Forum here tonight. Big suplex sending Pando back into the ring. What awaits us over the course of next week? Of course, 2 special events coming up. Our monthly special event, Madhouse, our second ever instance of this event, coming up this Saturday night, 9/8 Central, here on the Team Adhesive Broadcasting Network. And of course, next Monday night, our regularly scheduled action of War Zone will be quite the special event within itself. A special 5-match card as Papyrus pulls Popcorn Papi into the line of fire. Pando accidentally blindsiding his tag partner here tonight. Big slam from Pando. And we'll be expected to see him in action next week as part of our next Warzone special event, Wrestle Scream. We'll be seeing many of these men in the ring here tonight in some sort of capacity in the ring next week as part of Wrestle Scream. Popcorn Papi, of course, going one-on-one against Pierre Cinema for the first time ever. Papyrus, the 400-pound guard, the human shield of Parliament, getting a chance against the 300-pound misfit Bawb for the hardcore championship. Big flapjack from Papyrus as he makes the tag to Kruger. We'll be seeing Pando in some sort of capacity in 1 week's time at Wrestle Scream. A true pipe dream for Pando to witness and experience this meteoric rise over the past 6 months. For a man that is very far and away the breakout star of KPW over the course of 2025. We're going to continue that onslaught onto Kruger. Big splash from the second rope onto the back of Kruger. And Pando's got to be really relieved that he doesn't have to worry about no Buckingham Palace rule set. He's got every tool that he needs to use here tonight to get his hands on Parliament one more time before Madhouse. And if Pando can survive Madhouse, he's got potentially 3 of KPW's fiercest challengers awaiting him for a world title shot in the near future. A World Heavyweight Championship contender next week at Wrestle Scream this next Monday night as the Viceroy Jedi looks to finally cash those chips in and get his hard-earned rematch for the gold against the winner At Madhouse, Corey Sinclair or Crisp Billy. One of those two men will be meeting the Viceroy in the ring in 1 week's time. The board of directors have quite a lot to settle through, quite a lot. But orchestrate within a short period of time, within short notice. We wait to hear what the board of directors will have to say about Pando's upcoming championship defense this Saturday night. World heavyweight champion have to worry about Oliver English? Will we have to worry about Josue? Will they just randomly select a new challenger for Pando to defend the gold in just 5 nights? Pando trying to lift up the 400-pounder, no luck there. Delayed vertical suplex on a 400-pound man. And this is exactly why we have come to expect Pando to be that breakout star. Look at the feats of strength that he is able to accomplish. The moment that bell rings, when he hears that chime, it just sets off something in his mind. It just flips a switch, and we just see some absolutely inhumane feats of strength from that man. Popcorn Papi tagging in, swinging neck breaker onto Kruger. Big elbow from the second rope, a quick jab taking down Kruger. Irish whip into the corner. Arnold tie up side Russian leg sweep taking down Popcorn Papi. He's been more than willing to dish out as much as he could take. He's actually looking to make quite the difference here tonight. Running knee strike, center of the ring, cover, lateral press, a 2 count, broken up courtesy of Papyrus. Another lateral press, Papyrus rushing in, but Kruger gets the shoulder up just in the nick of time. And Popcorn Papi's got Papyrus right where he wants him. Snap, crackle, and pop. And look at Kruger trying to intervene for his tag team partner. And now he's left to pay the same price. Papyrus is out cold. Kruger's he's getting the pin. And Popcorn Papi just knocked out Chaos Control for the win. And that one was for the Heartthrob. Pando, Popcorn Papi celebrating a job well done. A partnership that worked out in dividends for both men. As Pando awaits to hear from the board of directors, as we all hinge on the words of the big wigs, what will transpire at Madhouse. We again. Look at that snap, crackle, and pop. Courtesy of Popcorn Papi as he lays out Kruger for the win. Some serious motivation for Bunker Hill as they head into Madhouse in 5 nights. As they keep Parliament back once again.
Pando, you're not walking through that curtain just yet.
What the hell is this about?
Do you remember that Beat the Clock challenge 2 weeks ago? My client,
that's not the board of directors, that's Tori.
He had 10 minutes to beat you for a one-on-one title shot this Saturday at Madhouse. You should have laid down for us. We gave you a chance to survive each and every step of the way, and yet you push back. What these people saw before the bell and what Popo found out firsthand is something we like to call foreshadowing. And don't worry, Popcorn Papi, you're going to feel that same pain against Chaos Control this weekend. Did you think Parliament would set you free just because you couldn't beat Josue in 10 minutes? You of all people should know better, Pando. Winning isn't the same thing as drawing. In fact, it's a whole hell of a lot better. So because you didn't lie down for our cause once again, we were able to dispute this with KPW's board of directors. At Madhouse, your World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line. Against Oliver English and Josue. In a handicap match.
What? A handicap match? What the hell?
You should have been less stubborn, because now it will cost you everything. Good day, Pando.
The odds stacked against Pando once again. And Pando just speared Tori out of her damn boots. A message sent to Parliament. And they've just been nothing but trouble for the World Heavyweight Champion. They've been nothing but trouble for the KPW locker room at large. And finally, it seems like somebody is more than willing to make sure Tori can reap what she sowed. She's been able to sway the board of directors, sway the big wigs into giving in to Parliament's demands time and time again. But now Pando has some serious odds against him. World Heavyweight Championship up for grabs at Madhouse in a handicap match for the first time ever, as Pando now has to defend against Oliver English and Josue. And that is all the time we have here, folks. I've been Tapey Styles, the only man that can call the action right down the middle, flying solo as always. And we will see you folks this Saturday night for our next monthly special event, Madhouse. Good night, everybody.